You've been lied to about mythical beasts. Dragons. They're just the tip of the iceberg. Forget everything you thought you knew, because we're about to venture far beyond the familiar tales of fire-breathing lizards. This isn't your average folklore lesson. We're embarking on a journey into the shadows of history, unearthing the colossal, the cunning, and the truly bizarre creatures that have been lost to time. Are you brave enough to explore the uncharted territories of legendary predators? Then let's begin. Our first stop is ancient Egypt, a land of golden sands and towering pyramids. But lurking in the afterlife, in the Hall of Two Truths, waits a creature more terrifying than any pharaoh's curse. Meet Ammit, the devourer of the dead. This isn't your typical monster. She's a divine enforcer, a chimeric nightmare with the head of a crocodile, the torso of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. The three largest man-eating animals known to the ancient Egyptians. Her role? She sat beside the scales of justice where the hearts of the deceased were weighed against the feather of Mat, the goddess of truth. If a heart was heavy with sin, it failed the test. An Ammit's meal was served. She would devour the heart, and the soul it belonged to would cease to exist, denied an afterlife, and cast into eternal oblivion. Ammit wasn't just a monster. She was the embodiment of ultimate justice, and the terrifying finality of a life lived without honor. There was no fighting her, no escaping her. She was a fundamental part of the cosmic order. Now, let's journey east to the vibrant and complex mythologies of China. Here we find a creature that challenges our very definition of a beast. This is the Qilin. At first glance, you might see a deer-like body covered in scales. An ox's tail, a horse's hooves, and a single horn on its head. It sounds monstrous, but the Qilin is anything but. This majestic creature is a symbol of immense good fortune, serenity, and prosperity. It is so gentle, it is said to walk on clouds or grass, so as not to harm a single blade. It embodies perfect goodwill, and is said to appear only during the reign of an illustrious and benevolent ruler, or upon the birth of a great sage. Legend has it that a Qilin appeared to the mother of the great philosopher Confucius just before his birth. Unlike the destructive beasts of Western lore, the Qilin is a protector, a divine messenger, whose presence signifies a golden age. But don't mistake its gentleness for weakness. When it needs to defend the innocent or punish the wicked, a Qilin can spout fire from its mouth and wield an array of fearsome powers. It is a perfect balance of yin and yang, gentle yet powerful, a guardian of peace and a righteous judge. From the heart of East Asia, we travel to the rugged coastlines of Scandinavia, the land of Vikings, longships, and epic sagas. Forget the Kraken for a moment. We're looking for something far more sinister that dwells in the cold, dark waters. Meet the Hafgufa, the mother of all sea monsters. This creature is so immense that ancient sailors often mistook it for an island or even a landmass. The legends describe the Hafgufa as having a unique and terrifying hunting method. It would remain motionless on the surface, emitting a special scent or bait that would irresistibly attract schools of fish and even curious ships. Once its massive, gaping mouth was filled with prey, it would snap shut, swallowing everything whole. Some texts describe its mouth and nostrils as being so vast they resembled straits or fjords. The Hafgufa represents the sheer unknowable terror of the deep ocean, the idea that the very ground beneath. Your feet might not be ground at all, but the jaws of an ancient predator waiting for the right moment to strike. It's a primal fear. The dread of being consumed by something so large, it defies comprehension. Let's now cross the Atlantic to the Americas, specifically to the folklore of the Algonquian-speaking peoples. In the frozen forests and lakes of the north, a terrifying spirit of winter and cannibalism is said to roam. This is the Wendigo. The Wendigo is not a beast you are born as, but one you become. It's a tale of human corruption, a cautionary story about greed, excess, and survival, taken to a monstrous extreme. The Wendigo is often described as a gaunt, emaciated giant, its skin pulled taut over its bones, its glowing eyes and a heart of ice. It is cursed with an insatiable hunger for human flesh. The more it eats, the larger it grows, and the more ravenous its hunger becomes. It is a cycle of eternal starvation. The myth served as a stark warning against resorting to cannibalism during harsh winters, but also as a metaphor for the destructive nature of selfishness and gluttony. To encounter a Wendigo was to face not just a monster, but the terrifying manifestation of humanity's darkest impulses. Our next creature takes us to the sun-drenched landscapes of ancient Greece, a land teeming with gods and heroes. But we're not here for the Minotaur or the Hydra. We're seeking something older, something born from the very earth itself. Imagine a rooster hatching a serpent's egg that was laid under the constellation Sirius. The result is the basilisk, the king of serpents. This creature wasn't always the giant snake you see in modern fantasy. In its original form, it was a small serpent, sometimes depicted with a crown-like crest on its head, hence its name, which means little king, but its size was deceptive. The basilisk was so venomous that its gaze alone was lethal, capable of killing any living thing that met its eyes. Its breath could wither plants and crack stones, and its touch was instant death. It was the personification of deadly poison. The only way to defeat a basilisk was to show it its own reflection in a mirror, causing it to die from its own deadly stare. This creature represents a kind of absolute, untouchable power, a force of nature so toxic that it annihilates everything around it simply by existing. Now we venture into the rich tapestry of Japanese folklore to meet a creature that is as strange as it is powerful. This is the New. The New is a classic chimera, said to have the head of a monkey, the body of a tanuki or raccoon dog, the limbs of a tiger, and a snake for a tail. Its cry sounds like that of a mountain thrush, an eerie and unsettling sound to hear in the night. The New is shrouded in mystery. It is a bringer of misfortune and illness, often descending upon towns in a black cloud. One of the most famous stories tells of how a New plagued the emperor in Kyoto, causing him terrible nightmares and sickness every night. The great samurai Minamoto no Yorimasa was tasked with stopping it. He shot it down from the sky with a single arrow, and as it fell, its true, bizarre form was revealed. A testament to the chaotic and unpredictable nature of the spirit world, the New reminds us that not all monsters are straightforward. Some are puzzles, patchworks of different beings that defy easy categorization and embody a sense of wrongness and dread. Let's journey back to the European continent, to the mountains and forests of Germany and Switzerland. Here whispers tell of the tatzelworm, or clawed worm. Eyewitness accounts, dating from the 17th century all the way to the 20th, describe a creature that looks like a thick, lizard-like serpent, about 2 to 5 feet long, but with the front half of a cat complete with 2 powerful clawed forelegs. It has no hind legs, propelling itself like a snake. The tatzelworm is said to be incredibly aggressive and territorial. It allegedly possesses a toxic breath and can leap great distances to attack unsuspecting hikers or livestock. Is it a surviving prehistoric reptile? A local mutation? Or pure folklore? While scientists dismiss it, the sheer consistency of sightings over centuries makes the tatzelworm a fascinating case of cryptozoology. It's a monster that feels grounded, as if it could actually be lurking just beyond the trail. A local legend that refuses to die and continues to spark both fear and curiosity. Finally, we travel to the Philippines, an archipelago with a mythology as diverse and vibrant as its islands. Here we encounter the bakunawa, a colossal sea serpent, often depicted as a dragon-like creature with a mouth the size of a lake. But the bakunawa isn't just any sea monster. Its ambition is cosmic. According to the myth, there were once 7 moons in the sky, created by the supreme god Bethela to light up the night. The bakunawa, captivated by their beauty, rose from the ocean and swallowed them one by one. To stop it from devouring the last moon, ancient Filipinos would bang pots and pans, making a loud noise to startle the beast and force it to spit the moon back out.
This explains the phenomenon of a lunar eclipse. The bakunawa is more than a monster.
It's a celestial force, a creature capable of challenging the gods and altering the very fabric of the heavens. It represents the eternal struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos played out on a cosmic scale. From the soul-letting Amit to the celestial bakunawa, these are just a few of the forgotten predators and protectors that lurk in the annals of myth.
They show us that the human imagination has conjured up far more than just dragons. Each culture has its own unique monsters that reflect its fears, its values, and its understanding of the world. They are cautionary tales, divine agents, and symbols of the untamable forces of nature. So the next time you hear a story about a mythical beast, remember that there's a whole world of incredible creatures waiting to be discovered, far beyond the dragon's lair. Which of these legends intrigued you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for exploring with us. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more dives into the world's forgotten lore.